Sorry about that. Hilchos mezuzah, boy chof hey seifim. Sifalef. Mitzvah saseh likbaya mezuzah bechol Pesach. La'afilu yesh lekama chadorim. We call cheder chama chadorim, which means you need to put a mezuzah in every door. Even if someone has many rooms and every room has its own door, you need to put a mezuzah on each one. Even though he's customary to use only one of the doors. They're all even the people who live in the house have been diminished, and therefore maybe the rooms are not being used. They all still need to have a mezuzah. If there is a door that the door is primarily not meant for an entrance, it's just meant to bring in packages. That's where you get deliveries from and so on. But there's another door which goes in and out. So then the door that is meant just to bring in bags and packages would be potter in that case. See base. Gam sha'arei chatzedos u'mavois v'ayoros, also the gates of chatzedos and cul-de-sacs and cities and medinos and countries. Chayavim mezuzah, need to have a mezuzah shenema uvish orecha, and it says in your gates. You know there's the big mezuzah when you come into Eretz Yisrael. I always love that mezuzah. However, we're going to learn later on that there are certain huts and gates that are not meant for ledir, it's not meant to live there, therefore it's not meant to have a mezuzah because it's a small little room and so on. But otherwise, every gate needs to have a mezuzah, even the gates of the city and the gate of the town and so on. Tzorich lekava bimin hanichnas, you need to put the mezuzah on the right side as going in. Vimkava b'smoil psula, if you put it on the left side, it's possible. V'tzarich lasira lekava bimin, he has to take it off and put it back on the right side. V'yivorech leah, to make a bracha. This does not make a difference if someone is a lefty or not. It always goes on the right side on the way in. The only question is, you have to what's considered going in, hekatzir. That's already a whole other reading. There are two houses that each one of those houses has an entrance that goes into the Shus Harabim or to Chotzer. And in the they also have a separation between the two houses, the wall, which also has a door. Now the question is, they both have the entrances going out inside to the chotzer, and then they have a door going in one to the other. Which one is going in? Which one is going out? As linan bazeh basa heker tzir pirush, the mokim shenase amahatzir, in the place where you make the tzir, which is like the hinges. This would only apply if the two batim are equal in its use. If one is the primary use, you don't go you put the mezuzah on the right side, which the iket tashmisha is to use the house for. Even if one room goes into another one, but our minig is that we always follow hekatzir except for the primary door, which is the front door of the house. Sif hey, the place where the put the mezuzah is on the third, by the gate, is the top of the door by the third of the top third. If you put it on top of this ksheira, it has to be at least a tefach lower than the mashke. If you put it underneath the third, then he does need to remove it and to replace it with a bracha. If he placed it on the top tefach, that's the mashke. If you see the gam kevik ben, he should also take it off and make and a place that establishes properly. However, over here he does not need to make a bracha. One should establish it to put the mezuzah on a tefach which is closest to the outside. If he made a mistake over there, or changed over there, it's not ma'akev. And therefore, sometimes you have houses by us, for example, even in Florida, where the outside of the door, even in my house that way, it's like flush. You don't have the mezuzah. I mean, the mashkar is not there or where to put it. It's only you see it on the inside. So you put it on the inside. Or sometimes it's so flat, like by a screen door, where you can't put it on the side. It doesn't fit. It's like a block. So you can put it the other way, as long as it's within a tefach next to the door. See what? Ketzad koiva, how does he place the mezuzah? He scrolls the mezuzah from the end to the front. The hainu me'echad klape shma. He goes from Hashem echad towards back towards Shema. Or menicha b'shveiferes, he puts it in a tube by b'shar davar or something else, in a piece of paper, whatever it may be. The koiva b'masmeiros b'mezuzah sapesa balachsen, and he places it with nails, the mezuzah of the door on an angle. The heiroisha, the hainu shema, keneged abai, is the top of it, which is the Shema part, should be towards the house. The shita achrein and the last line should be towards the outside. The mezuzah pesach ein rechava. If the thing is here, he's telling us this halacha, it's not wide enough. You could yakve and a skufa. He should place it even on the mezuzah straight. It doesn't necessarily have to be slanted, even if it's slanted a little bit. It's better to put it behind the door. If he didn't establish it on the door, he just hung it on the door by like a chain, he put a nail there, whatever, just hung it on there, it's possible. You have to make it in such a way that it should not be considered that it's hanging. Before he places the mezuzah, he makes a bracha, he can shut up his face of his bottom like by a mezuzah. If he makes many mezuzahs, one bracha is sufficient for all of them. If let's say you happen to be at a mezuzah door where the mezuzah fell down, and you reestablish putting it back there, placing it, you have to make a bracha. How about if he took it off in order to inspect it, over here becomes a suffix of whether he needs to make a bracha. We'll stop over here.